I'm giving somebody the blues today.
In this video, we're going to be talking about the great success that is Marvel's Rivals and the massive update that is the Season 1, where they release half of the Fantastic Four. Before we do that, here is 5 characters who is considered the best and worst win rate, and you have to pick right next to it. The Sniper, Black Widow, that makes sense. I personally try to hunt her down when she's on the map, but I would imagine that a lot of people just ignore her. And then also Jeff. Jeff is another character who should be very far in the back and just out of sight, healing everyone. The Raccoon Squirrel Girl, it makes sense that she's there as well. Moon Knight has a very good mobility as well. And then the Punisher, it's kind of difficult to get to him. These are all characters, though, who if I see on the map, I'm trying to tackle. Squirrel Girl is the only one who's really, really elusive for me, though. Really elusive. She jumps and I lose sight of her. Moving on from that, though, you see all of the different things that is in this update. You can see the characters who were buffed, the characters who were nerfed. You guys are probably adjusted to this already. You have the 2 characters, Fantastic and Invisible Woman. And then you have all of the different ranks, the rank decay. So each season you drop down a little bit, and then you can work your way back up. And then they also add in 3 new ranks, Eternity, Celestial, and Grandmaster. So that's something that I'm definitely going to be working towards. Will I get it? Maybe not. But I am kind of blasting through the ranks. You have a new map as well, and then also you have new settings. A lot of great stuff in this update. A lot of people are very happy. Here's another breakdown of the update, the buffs and the nerfs. I won't read all of this because I'm sure you've probably seen it already, but if you do want to pause and read, the different changes to each character to really lock in, then go ahead and do that. Right. There's many different characters that were affected from what I'm hearing, and then you get into the nerf sections, right? So from what I'm hearing, Storm is going to shoot up the tier list. There's a lot of characters who's going to shoot up the tier list, and then some characters will dip down. Ever since this update, I have not seen one Iron Fist, so I don't know if he was clapped out of existence. They didn't say anything about him. Maybe people were just playing different characters. But with how massive this update was, a lot of people were excited, and the developers is trying to get ahead of the expectations and telling everyone that the future updates will be substantially smaller than Season 1. Now, even though that is kind of like, oh man, it still makes sense because these 4 characters that they were doing the Fantastic Four, it's probably something that they wanted to be on the base roster, but we know with these live service games, they usually cut a fraction of that out and save it for later. But regardless of that, a lot of people are having a lot of fun with the game, and you have this ongoing comparison between Marvel's Rivals and Overwatch 2. 433,000 players on Steam, that's Steam alone, versus Overwatch, which has 18,000. This game is doing a very good job of making a lot of other games panic. Smite 2 was a game that I was very interested in, but this game is basically, they sabotaged themselves with their bad release, but then also they're being completely stumped out with Marvel Rivals, which is what forced them to go free to play. I'll try it once again because I see they added a lot of characters to the game, but I don't know if I'll commit to it. Marvel's Rivals is pretty fun. And when you talk about the growth of this game, it hit 500,000 concurrent players. That pushed it to break the all-time record. So this game is more popular now than it was ever on release. And that just speaks to how much this game is growing. It's the most played game on all of Steam right now. The heights that this game is reaching is just unimaginable. It also has retained 90% of its player base. This is also being compared to Sparking Zero, which broke a lot of records on launch, but then a month later it had a 90% fall off. So it's the opposite. One game lost 90%, the other game still has 90%. This just speaks to releasing a polished game. Sparking Zero had many different issues from cheaters, from netcode, from balancing. Yes, Marvel Rivals have some issues with balancing, but with real teamwork or just a real focus within yourself, you could shut down certain characters and you could massively sway the game. In other games, Spark and Zero, that was not the case. And the CEO of Epic Games, the founder and CEO, speaking to all of the success and how they were able to achieve it, he literally just says fun. He says fun is the reason why they were able to do all of that, because that is what they're putting first. They're putting fun first. They're not putting politics, they're not putting this, they're not putting that. So they say there is this like side conversation where in the chat they are blocking out a lot. They're censoring a lot of things you can say. Most notably things that's related to China. So that's something that they should be careful with. You don't want to kill your momentum with something that's completely unnecessary. Nexus Mods is a big modding platform who's facing a type of controversy as well, because they basically banned a skin that was related to Donald Trump, and everyone was like, wait a minute, why are you doing this? In this statement, they basically say that we didn't only attack a skin that's Donald Trump. Having American politics mods is against our policies regardless. And they basically say that they banned mods that was about Obama and like Biden. So they basically are trying to say like, we're not just playing one side, we're just trying to keep politics out of our modding servers completely. But moving on from that, lastly, what I'll say about the success of Marvel Rivals, then we could talk about some leaked characters, is in the first month Marvel Rivals made reportedly $54 million on Steam, $27 million on PlayStation, and $2.7 million on Xbox. You know, the player base is so small for Xbox. They really have to work hard to increase their player base and give people a reason to play Xbox. Like my Xbox has basically just become decoration for my room at this point. It's not really something that I turn on and play, not even to watch YouTube anymore. But generally, when you look at the success that they're reaching, this is incredible. They made so much money within the first month, and might I add that the DLC characters, the Fantastic Four, is free. I was so shocked when I looked and it was free. They're only making their money from like skins and battle pass and things of that sort. The characters, the game, it's free. This is how you do free to play, in my opinion. This is how you do live service. They're updating the game, they're supporting the game, they're centered around fun, and then they're giving the characters for free. And then they're only making their money through things that doesn't affect gameplay. So when you see other games put their characters behind a paywall, but then also make those characters super OP, it's just not necessary. And that's why I get so upset, because once again, Marvel Rivals proved that it's not necessary. Now, when we talk about leaks, there's a lot of characters, and I'll just go through and read the names that people are looking at. Jay Jing, Trapster, Colossus, Professor X, and Locust. More details says Professor X is a support, Jai Jing is support, Pace Pot Pete is damage, Colossus is a tank, and Locust is a support. You have more characters here: Angel, Blade, Captain Marvel, Colossus, Cyclops, Deadpool, Emma Frost, Hitmonkey, Jai Jing, Jin Grey, Locust, MODOK, Paste Pot Pete, I don't know who that is, Professor X, the Hood, Ultron, Valkyrie. And then you have this last one here where a lot of people are really excited about the character Cyclops. They have so many great characters, and really all they have to do is just continuously roll them out, make sure that they're unique, but also make sure that they're balanced. And then this game will basically like make billions. They have a very profitable thing going here, and I really just want them to continue because the game is fun and I'm enjoying it. And in this video, I just want to talk about all of the different things that I've seen. I'll make another video soon where I cover more.